In this movie, Leah Thompson has sex with a duck.
Excuse me?
I think she does. It's really one of the great unanswered questions of the 1980s.
Uh-huh.
But a duck man comes to the Earth.
A duck man.
So we start off on his home planet, his home duck planet, and it's just like Earth, but everything is ducks. He kicks back in his easy chair, and he's going to look at a Playboy, but it's Play Duck.
Oh, right.
And this is the first of several times that we see duck tits.
What? Uh-huh.
The centerfold falls down, and it's like a naked duck woman with like big, beautiful tits.
Oh!
So then, like, he's in his chair, and it starts to shake, and it's like he's being pulled by like a tractor beam. Well, he's in an apartment building, so he busts through a wall in his chair, and he goes through like an old duck couple. It's like, what's this? And then, of course, he busts through another wall, and now there's a duck woman in a bathtub, and we see her even more bigger, beautiful duck tits. This is 2 sets of duck tits in under 5 minutes. I think this is why they made the movie.
Okay.
It's not Manhattan, but because he's being sucked into space, we see that he lives on some big metropolis island.
Okay.
Yeah, but the narrator clears this up in a second.
Oh, there's a guy.
And yeah, luckily,
All
in
right.
case people were very confused.
I'm lost.
They were like, we need to put a narrator in here because right now it's just duck tits. Which would have been an even more popular Saturday morning cartoon than DuckTales.
Yeah.
Duck tits, a woo. Everywhere I go, I'm seeing duck tits, a woo. Oh, and then in the commercial, we see that there are black feathered ducks.
Okay.
I think in the TV, we saw he was going through a soap opera, and a duck with black feathers was like, I don't care what the society says. And then when he gets pulled into space, right? I noticed for a second when he gets pulled into space, they've all got white feathers. The one with black feathers had a boombox.
God damn it.
And he was like, fucking white people.
White ducks are crazy.
Fucking white ducks always going into the sky and shit. So then now he's shooting through space. He's like, he doesn't know what's going on. He's waving his cute little arms, going through space. And the narrator now tells us, we're seeing the planets, and the narrator says, every possible reality exists on some planet somewhere that would be a fantasy anywhere else. He's basically saying there is a duck world out there.
Great.
This was the duck planet. Just deal with it. And he's going through space, which is funny because we already kind of put it together, but just in case, he's like, it was a planet of ducks. He's a duck man. Everybody caught up? Those were duck tits. Just deal with those feelings now.
It sounds like, you don't really need a narrator. Like, if there was a narrator for just any movie that you don't.
And that's the story of The Shining. Our friend Jack got frozen back there. I guess he learned his lesson. Join us next time, won't you? And that's the story of What About Bob? I guess that guy was retarded, huh? Get it? Or it's like he has to explain. He like really has to hammer it home. So he just the narrator that just explains what obviously happens.
Right.
Oh, I guess that is kind of what Morgan Freeman did in Shawshank.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess you could say Andy got You're like, yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, that was our story. I guess the narrator and Tyler Durden were the same guy. Did you get it, stupid? That's what happened. The whole time they were the same guy. So long, stupid. I'm the narrator for people who didn't get what just happened. So then he lands in Cleveland.
Okay. All right.
There's a rock club. On stage is Leah Thompson and her all-girl band. Okay. Huge hair. But then Leah Thompson's coming home from her gig alone late at night with her guitar, and 2 like crazed fans kind of attack her. So he saves her from the punks. And then at first she's like, wow, you're a duck man. And I guess she accepts that he's from another planet. And at first she's going to leave him, but he has nowhere to go and it's raining. So she's like, come to my apartment.
Oh.
She shares that, her dream is to hit it big with her band. And then he falls asleep. And maybe this is when she kind of falls in love with him. She's kind of looking at him in the window. He falls asleep in the window. And she kind of ruffles his little feathers on his head. And she goes through his wallet.
What?
Yeah. And out of his wallet, she pulls just a loose leaf out of the package, tiny condom.
Ah!
And I think this is to set up the subtext that they're going to fuck.
Ah!
Because this lets us know he has a tiny, weird duck penis. Because he has a loose leaf condom. At this point, she's thinking about it.
Right.
See, it's left a little unsaid. That's what adds to the mystery. She takes him to the Cleveland Museum, where she's friends with Tim Robbins.
Hey.
And he's got a scientist coat on, and he's examining Howard. He's like, this is the find of the century. But then Tim Robbins comes back, and he's like, I think I have a lead on how you got here. I'm going to need a tail feather. And he takes a tail feather. So he's on the case. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Howard's back at her place. Leah Thompson. And then she comes out. Leah Thompson looks amazing. She's like in her underwear. And then she just kind of gets in bed and she's like, hey, are you coming to bed? I feel like she's trying to... at this point, it seems like she's trying to seduce him. So she's like, I just can't find the right man. And then he's like, well, what if what you need isn't a man? And then she looks at him and she goes, fuck, let's try it. She's like, no, but let's do it. And then she starts to take her top off.
What?
And then he's like, no, I can't do this. But then the scientists come in. Tim Robbins and the main other guy come in.
To her apartment?
Yeah, I guess they just come into her apartment.
Okay.
It's like a big loft. And we see through, like, there's like a sheet up, so we see silhouettes. Where at this point, she's like, well, just give me a kiss. And they kiss. She kisses him on the beak. And at this point, he starts to relax. And she's still on top of him. So I think if the scientists hadn't come in, it seems like now it's really about to happen.
Yeah.
But then the scientists are like, dear God. The one guy's like, this is against the laws of nature. And they're like, we're just friends. We were just messing around. And if those scientists hadn't come in, this could have been the weirdest sex scene in the 80s. For a lady, she pretty much threw everything she had at him. Here's the hardest a woman will come on to you. Is she'll get in her underwear and go, I just can't find a guy. Is my ass not perfect enough? What do you think? So then Tim Robbins comes in with Jeffrey Jones, the principal from Ferris Bueller.
Oh.
So Jeffrey Jones says that they've got this giant thing at his lab. They're like astronomers or whatever, and there's this giant thing that looks like a big telescope. It's like a laser spectroscope. And they lost control of it on the night that Howard came to Earth. They lost control of it, and they were using a high-powered laser to study space, but it fucked up and became a tractor beam and pulled them to Earth.
Okay.
And on the night that happened, a single feather fell in the observatory, and it matches the feather that, I guess, they pulled him in from space, but he landed 2 blocks away where he landed.
Sure.
And then he's like, can you reverse it? And he's like, well, it's never been tried, but let's do it. Let's reverse it. So then they all go back to the like meet. He's like, Jeffrey's like, I'll ride separately. Let's all go back to the lab where we keep the giant laser. And they go back to the lab. And then, but when our gang comes in, there's been another explosion.
Another explosion?
Like some fried scientist comes out and he's like, we should have played God. It blows up every time they use it.
Okay. So this is the first time we've seen the Ferris Bueller principal in the whole movie?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, there's just something about, like, in Ferris Bueller, he's just trying to hunt down a teenager. And in this one, he walks in on a lady trying to have sex with a duck.
Yeah, Jeffrey Jones walks in and goes, oh, I'm the bad guy. Oh, I'm the freak. Oh, I'm in trouble for what I'm into. Leah Thompson fucks a duck. She's celebrating. I am on a registry for SOs. But Leah Thompson can go to the zoo whenever she wants. Kevin Spacey walks in and goes, oh, we're fucking ducks now. Oh, we're fucking ducks, are we? Oh. And yet I can't go back to Hollywood. Leah Thompson looking fine and fucking ducks. Anyway, so we have no right to play God. My face is burnt off.
He has the Wile E. Coyote face.
It's almost like God saw that they were doing duck fucking down on Earth, and he sent a lightning bolt to burn the scientist's face off.
Okay, just give us a sign that this is wrong. And then he blows up a space station.
And then she's like, any sign. Any sign. Okay, I guess it's fine.
Sends a island to interrupt with Tim Robbins.
You know you're having weird sex when a world-famous sex criminal shows up and goes, what are we doing? I heard there was a party over here. Hey, I heard there was a party. I'm on the offender registry, and I brought this guy fresh out of prison. You get your Halloween friend, and let's have a party. I'd like to tell you they didn't all take turns on the duck that night. But I would be telling a lie. The past was doing its best.
That's the theme song.
Leave them alone. Leave them alone! Leave them alone! They were doing their best.